My best friend asked my boyfriend to hold her while I was in the other room and told him I'd never have to know. He told me before she finished the sentence. Sade and I had been friends since freshman year of college. She was magnetic, the kind of woman who walked into a room and reorganized every conversation around herself without trying. I admired it. I thought it was confidence. It took me 4 years to learn the difference between confidence and hunger. When I started dating Marcus, she was the first person I told. She squealed. She hugged me. She said, "Finally, you deserve someone good." 2 days later, she commented on his Instagram photo. "Your girlfriend is lucky. Don't let her mess this up." I laughed it off. That was just Sade. She said things like that. Then she met him. We all went to dinner, and she spent the first 20 minutes telling Marcus stories about my exes. Not funny stories. Embarrassing ones. The guy who ghosted me at prom. The guy who told me I wasn't pretty enough to introduce to his parents. She told them like she was being helpful, like she was saying look how far she's come. But every story ended with her glancing at Marcus to see if his opinion of me had shifted. After dinner, I texted her, and said those stories made me uncomfortable. She called me sensitive. She said she was trying to show Marcus that I'd been through a lot, and he should treat me well. I accepted it, because accepting Sade was easier than confronting her. The comments got worse. She'd say things to Marcus in front of me like, "If she ever gets boring, you know where to find me." Always laughing. Always joking. Marcus would go quiet after, and I'd spend the drive home convincing him she didn't mean anything by it. He'd nod, but his jaw would stay tight. She broke up with her boyfriend 3 months ago, called me sobbing at midnight, said he'd left without explanation and she was falling apart. I drove 40 minutes to her apartment with Marcus, because she sounded scared, and I wasn't going to leave her alone. When we got there, the apartment was destroyed. Clothes on the floor, dishes everywhere. She was in a bathrobe with mascara running down her face. I told Marcus to order food while I got her cleaned up. She grabbed my arm and said, "Can Marcus bring me water first? I want to talk to him." I said I'd bring it. She said, "No, I want him to." Something cold moved through me. I ignored it. Marcus brought her the water. I walked her to the bathroom. She asked for help with her shower, said she was dizzy. I opened the door and she was standing in her robe, untied, open, facing the doorway like she'd arranged herself. The second she saw my face, she pulled it closed and said, "Sorry." I slipped. She hadn't slipped. She was dry. The shower wasn't running. I went back to the living room and sat next to Marcus. He looked at me and said, "Something feels off." I said, "I know." Sade came out still in the robe, still untied at the top, still accidentally showing more than anyone asked to see. At midnight I said we should go. She agreed. Then she turned to Marcus and said, "Actually, can you stay? I don't feel safe alone." I said she should come home with us if she felt unsafe. She shook her head. "I just need Marcus here. You can go." The room went quiet. Marcus looked at me. I looked at her. 4 years of friendship compressed into one sentence. She didn't want my help. She didn't want my comfort. She wanted my boyfriend alone in her apartment while she wore nothing under a robe she couldn't keep closed. I said, "You are the most desperate person I have ever met." Her face crumbled. I didn't care. Marcus was already standing. We left while she was still crying. She called 17 times that night. I didn't pick up once. The next morning I found out through friends she told everyone I abandoned her during a crisis, that I called her names while she was vulnerable, that I was cruel. I told every single friend the full story. The robe, the bathroom, the request for Marcus to stay alone. The years of comments I'd brushed off as personality. Most of them went quiet. A few apologized for ever telling me I was overreacting. I drove to her apartment the next day. Left a bag with her things on the mat. Blocked her number from the parking lot. Marcus was in the passenger seat. He said, "I'm sorry you lost a friend." I said, "I didn't lose anything. I just stopped pretending I had it." That night, Marcus made dinner, and we ate on the couch in our apartment. And he said, "For the record, I was never going to stay." I said I knew. He said, "How?" I said, "Because when she asked, you looked at me, not at her. That's how I know." He kissed my forehead. I turned on a movie. The apartment was quiet, in a way it hadn't been in months. No comments to decode, no jokes to excuse, no friend-shaped thing sitting across from me calculating how to take what's mine. Some people love you, and some people love what you have. Sade never learned the difference. I finally did.